Hi everybody, how's it going? Hope everybody's well. Just wanted to record another video going over a lot of the stuff that I be posting about, right? Talking about the hopefully not impending war with Iran, but we all know that the warmongers in Washington and in Israel, well, Washington's handlers, I'm sorry, uh, they want this war with Iran. They don't care at what cost. They're willing to sacrifice U.S. Navy servicemen and women in order to garner more public sentiment, to gain support for this illegal war, unconstitutional war, that basically is going to be against a country that poses no threat to the United States whatsoever. They have no ships near us. There's no sleeper cells that you've been hearing about for the past God knows how many years. If there were, they would have activated them a long time ago. Would you please snap out of that bullshit? Um, yeah, and basically, they don't have any weapon that could destroy the United States. They've never threatened the United States. They may say death to America after America kills the equivalent to their Joint Chiefs of Staff, uh, Soleimani, back in 2020, and also due to the fact that the CIA has conducted several regime changes in that country in the past 75 years. So, I mean, if somebody comes to the United States and does the same thing, I don't know what your reaction is going to be to that. Maybe say peace with the people that came and did that to us, or screw you. Anyway, here's my thing. I feel that there's a lot of events that overlap with each other, and they're all done on purpose. The main thing is that this empire, this entity that we know as the United States, which is not, I don't think it's that. I think what we were told that's the United States is not the United States. I think this is some other shit, bro. I seriously think that it is like, it's kind of like this is the front, this is the store, has a nice little name and all that stuff, a nice little uniform for the workers, but behind closed doors, they're doing some other shit, right? And not only that, they're not selling whatever they say they're selling. They're selling something else. They're doing something else publicly. I feel that this entity doesn't care who it sacrifices or for what, as long as it gets its objectives completed, which is control, keeping populations under subjugation, global South populations particularly. But they don't care about American citizens. Think about that. They don't give a shit about American citizens. They don't care about your rights. They don't care about your vote. They don't care about your electoral desires. They give you choices that you don't even fucking like. Yet you're supposed to feel like you're free. Right? Yet we live in a democracy that's controlled by billionaires, controlled by another country, controlled by pedophilic or pedophiles, basically. A billionaire class of pedophiles who come from bloodlines of families globally who align under some certain symbolisms for themselves, throw those same symbolisms in our face, those symbols, and have a whole culture designed for us. They call it democracy, freedom, a republic, but it's none of that. These people control everything, and it doesn't matter who you vote for. Whoever is in charge or put as a puppet is going to carry out the same scheme, the same idea, the same ideologies, carry out the same objective and strategy, which is global domination. Trying to knock out as many countries as they can that don't appease with their system, their banking system, their military subjugation. Doesn't sound like freedom to me, like at all. Usually, freedom involves letting people do what they want to do, right? Usually, that's when people start to like you, right? Imagine you trying to control somebody all the time, or somebody trying to control you. You're not going to like them very much. You're not going to make a lot of friends, actually. Especially if you not only try to control everybody, but you go around bullying everybody. And then you got people that support it. And they make a sport out of it. They make entertainment out of it. They make it seem like it's this patriotic thing to do. But play the victim. Why not? Play the victim. Play the victim saying, oh, everybody hates us. We're the worst. Why? If we do all this good. There's studies that show that there's over 54 million deaths attributed to the United States government over the past, I would say, since World War II. 54 million to this government alone. To the CIA, actually. Just part of the government. Do we have a moral standing on the planet at all to lecture anyone on human rights or to even pretend of being this moralistic, democratic country? I don't think so. What's going on with Iran is going to affect everything. Between gas prices, global instability, an economic meltdown. Not only that, the millions of people affected in Iran, innocent people, people like you and me, that have nothing to do with any of this shit, are going to get blown up, are going to get their lives turned upside down, probably saying their last goodbyes to their family members. They don't know if they're going to ever see each other again. And the same goes for the U.S. service members. They don't know if they're coming back. They don't know if they're going to get hit with one of those hypersonic anti-ship missiles. All it takes is one. That's all it takes is one of those missiles. Do you think the American public could stomach 4,000 sailors lost in one shot? Do you think the American public will be down to have canceled elections? Because Donald Trump has said it several times. They will cancel elections because there's a war. Putin does it. The other guy, Zelensky, did it. Netanyahu's doing it, right? What if they enact martial law because of the economic situation and people start bugging the hell out? And whoever's saying anything against this, they gather their data, palantired up, right? Get spied on, get sent to one of those detention centers. What about fuel shortages? How are you going to get around if there's fuel shortages, if the price of fuel goes through the roof? Or food supply is going to be available like we always got, like we're used to. We're used to living everything so pampered, right? Having everything, our quality of life being like a pampered lifestyle. What if there's homeland strikes? What if we don't know about a weapon that somebody possesses that is closer to us? Just food for thought, right? What about false flags? Domestic false flags in the Persian Gulf, trying to blame Iran for any of this stuff to garner public support once again? What if the losses get so bad with this war from the start? Not even like, oh, like in 7 months. No. By the first 2 days, you're going to have like 20,000 dead soldiers or something, right? I'm not saying that's going to happen, but this is, you don't know. Nobody knows what's going to happen. What if they enact the major draft? What if they enact a major draft and they start drafting our kids, 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, ready to go to college, ready to start their life, to go fight this war for the Jeffrey Epstein class, for the ruling class, for Israel, for Donald Trump, for the oligarchs, for the 30% of people that are with this war but don't want to send their kids to go fight in it. They think it's like the WWF or WWE or like a football game or whatever stupid hockey bullshit they fucking just won. Whatever distraction people are always entertained with. They think it's the same exact thing. Press reset. You get an extra life. It's like a video game. It's not like that, man. I feel like this is all meant to make you forget about Epstein. At the same time, it's something that will make you forget about Epstein. Why? Because of the loss of life, the major disruptions in life. You're going to be so preoccupied with surviving that you're not going to be even thinking about that shit. You're going to be like, man, fuck that. Who cares? Save that for another time. We're in survival mode. We're in war. Again, food for thought, guys. So, what else? I write this stuff down, everyone, like my points. I try to get into these points because there's so much to talk about, I actually forget. Oh, yeah, well, the Epstein thing. I feel that is actually a global cabal. They're using the ring as something that they're like, yeah, it's just this certain group of people within all these elites and ruling class. However, I feel like they're all involved in it. They all know about it, right? They obviously know about it. Obama knew about it. Kamala knew about it. Biden knows about it. Trump's in the middle of it. They all belong to these cults, or whatever you want to call it, these societies. I don't want to call them secret societies because they exist out in the public, but I would call them exclusive societies. And they worship something that we don't know about. Or they have something that we don't know about. Some kind of energy, I don't know. And they give us religion to fight over. They have their own thing. If they really believed in any of the Abrahamic religions, we wouldn't see any war. We wouldn't see any destruction, poverty, death. We'd see peace on earth. These people do the opposite of all those religions. The opposite. Listen to what I say, the opposite. They're hypocrites. They're not religious. They're the most evil people. Only evil people want to design bombs and things that want to kill other people, that kill other children, that rape children, eat children, rape women, destroy people's lives. They don't care. They do not care. They get off on it. That is their energy field. That's where they get their energy from, all the suffering. I feel like the ring, like that, oh, it's a ring and we can't penetrate it and they're giving us files, they're not giving us files. Yes, he's in it, but nobody cares and blah, 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 blah. It gets lost in the shuffle and we all get this information overload where we don't know what's real, what's not real, and we don't even care anymore. It's just too much information. After a while, there's too many adrenaline-inducing events that keep us on edge, keep us in fear, and keep us reacting to the next momentary thing instead of thinking long-term, short-term, or in retrospect, right? I feel that all that entertainment shit is the same thing too. These conglomerates of families and people and corporations, whatever you want to call it, these ruling classes own all of the entertainment and media. It's all meant to distract you guys. That Bad Bunny shit, distraction. The Turning Point shit, distraction. All of these celebrity fights, distractions. Sports, distractions. And actually, they get you hyped up. Who's to say that hockey shit wasn't even fixed to make people feel more American and more patriotic and rally behind America, the great war criminal, participating in this peaceful sports display of international solidarity or some bullshit. And they got Israel competing as well. Fucking war criminals. IDF motherfuckers that were killing kids in Gaza competing in the bobsled competition and all that shit. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit at the end of the day. I want you to fucking get that through your heads, guys. It's all bullshit. Right? These people own all those fucking media outlets and all of these channels. They're programming you with bullshit. Distracting you with programming. Indoctrinating you with a culture. Not real. The shit's manufactured. It's not real, guys. It's coming out of a fucking screen. Trust me when I tell you, I know what I'm talking about when it comes to this shit. Because I've read many books about manipulation, mind control, persuasion, and not to like manipulate you guys, but just to see what is going on. How am I being manipulated? How can I, because there's good manipulation too. You could convince yourself to believe in yourself much more, to actually get things done, to think differently. That's what manipulation does. It's kind of like you're tricking your brain into doing things. However, what if your brain is being and if I was manipulative, trust me when I tell you, I would never tell you any of this shit. Manipulators will never tell you that they're manipulative. They'll make you feel like you're having a good time. Like you're in this fantasy and you're like, wow, this is amazing. Can I do it again? That's what they do. And they make you feel tied into it. They make you feel valid, some kind of validation, or wanting some kind of validation, or feeling like you're part of something great when you ain't do nothing at all. Ain't did shit. All of these things, all of these apparatuses, even elections, it's meant to give you this sense of control when you have zero control. It's all being fed to you. You're eating it and you're regurgitating it, thinking that it's you, but it's not. It's called culture. Right? Doesn't matter what culture, but I'm not saying cultures are bad. Right? It's good to have a cultural celebration. But when it becomes something that overtakes your personality, you don't think about anything outside of that culture or even question anything. Name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen. What does that mean? Why do you do this? Or why do people do this? Or why do people do this? Or whatever it is that people do when they pray. Why do we do this? Why do we do this? Why do we do all these weird signs? Nobody ever questions it. They just go along with it like, yeah, this is what's going on. Somebody's watching you. If you don't do it, you're going to get in trouble. And it's all bullshit. Anyway. I'm trying to see what else I could say over here. The question boils down to who could take more pain, guys. When it comes to this Iranian war, who could take more pain? The United States or Iran? Israel or Iran? Israel's friends or the Arab states that are ruled by monarchs or Iran? Who's dependent on who? Who's being helped by who? Who's in the right? That's the best question. Who's in the right over here? What happens to the American psyche after that? It's for us to find out. I don't know. Let's see. So Iran has a wartime government in place. I'm going to give you some facts that I gathered. They have hypersonic missiles, over 7 to 9 different classes. They have 3 different anti-ship missiles, hypersonic as well. They're low altitude and they could change direction. They're vector changing very fast. They could do that abruptly and be very precise with their targeting, which allows them to slip by air defenses. They have some of the latest Russian and Chinese GPS, intelligence surveillance, satellite imagery, and air defenses. They have radars that could detect stealth fighters from over 200 kilometers out. They call it a 3D model, where they're actually using other technology that I would say makes that stealth technology obsolete, so they know when they're coming in. They have underground tunnels and bunkers, basically cities, deep into these mountains, guys. They have tens of thousands of missiles and drones, very cheaply made. They don't have to spend a lot of money. We spend a lot of money, or the United States government spends a lot of money on a lot of the stuff that they're using to defend themselves with. We will go broke in a heartbeat in a protracted war with Iran. Who could take more pain? That's the question. Our dollar is imploding. Guess what happens when we attack Iran? Dollar crashes even more. Prices of everything goes up. Who could take the pain? Iran's been suffering for quite a while. They're used to it. Americans, not so much. Who could take the pain the longest? Iran lost over 500,000 soldiers in the 1980s in the Iran-Iraq War. When was the last time you lost that many American soldiers? Who could take the pain? That's the question. Iran has several alliances ready to go. They also have several of their, I don't want to say proxies, but there's several groups that work as allies with Iran, operating on their own terms. They're not controlled by Iran at all, but they have logistical support. Guess who's going to be fighting in these wars as well? Just saying. Anyway, everybody. Oh, wait, hold on. I got a little bit more. Hold on. Oh, one last thing. My little prediction, I'm not going to say that this is going to happen, and I hope it doesn't happen. Let's just say there's a war. The world will be celebrating seeing U.S. ships in Israel getting hit with missiles, getting destroyed, getting their butts kicked. Why? The world is sick and tired of us. They're tired of the United States, man. They're tired of being bullied. They're tired of bowing down and being subjected to economic and military injustices. Having their populations get starved out like Cuba, like Venezuela. Medieval starvation, right? They're cutting their oil, they're cutting their food, water, all that stuff. Same thing they did to Gaza. They're doing over here on this side. I warned you guys about this stuff. This is going to be a global South versus the United States war. This is what this world war is going to be about. Because this is going to spiral out of control. This is not going to stay confined to one little area or just a few strikebacks. The question is, before this major conflict begins, I want you to ask yourself, who's going to survive all of this madness? And how will it end? Who's going to survive and how will it end? And to answer that, I would ask that you ask yourself, how prepared are you? Mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, if you know what you're doing, and defensively. Can you protect your family? Can you take care of yourself? Can you hunt? Can you fish? Can you cook? Can you bake? Do you know a little bit of first aid or that? Do you know how to get around using stars, directions? What's your sense of direction? What's it like? All Iran has to do is survive, and they win. And in surviving, we could die as a nation. Why? Because it's going to drag us down. We can't handle all this shit. We can't. We simply cannot do it. Well, with that, I bid everybody adieu. Take care. Peace around the world. Peace be unto you, your family, health, prosperity, peace of mind, peace of the spirit, knowledge, wisdom. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one, y'all. And I'll make something more fun and more animated. I just didn't want to get all crazy and stuff because I feel like the situation is so serious, man, that, somebody got to say something. There's plenty of people saying things, but I got to say my 2 cents as well. I may have said something way better than that, or been able to say something a little bit more animated, but there's nothing special that I have to say. That's just what I got to say. And I hope you take it with a grain of salt. If any of you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Take care. Bye bye.